Stephen King has been publishing books since 1974, and in the year 2025, his books still continue to be relevant and contain themes that can still teach us a lot to this day. His book Running Man and the new film Adaptation most definitely are still relevant in 2025, and I'm going to tell you why. So the novel The Running Man was published in 1982 under the pseudonym Richard Bachman, and the book is set in 2025, so this film adaptation really couldn't come at a better time. The book itself is a dystopian novel, and dystopian novels often predict events that are going to happen in the future and act as a warning to those in the future, and this book is no different. So let's start off with the question, do I think that this book had accurate predictions and or warnings for us in 2025 when the book is set? And the answer to that would be yes, absolutely. News outlets and media definitely control the narratives of our culture. Another element of dystopian novels is that they often have a controlling government, and this novel definitely encapsulates that trope. Now, when we're comparing our culture in 2025 with the book, of course, we don't have TV shows that have contestants die or be tortured for the sake of entertainment. However, no one can deny that news outlets and media shape our political climate and our culture. Now, I want to talk about an element that was added in the film adaptation. So there's a character in the novel named Bradley who is instrumental in helping Ben advance in The Running Man. Bradley opens Ben's eyes to how the network is a propaganda tool to suppress the poor. So how the character of Bradley is different from the novel to the film adaptation is that Bradley secretly runs this YouTube-esque channel that exposes the truth behind The Running Man. I loved this element being added personally because it's obviously very accurate in 2025. Although news outlets do have ways of controlling the narrative, the beauty of the internet is that anyone can come on here and share their opinions like I'm doing right now. Although not everyone's opinions, videos, posts gain traction or attention, pretty much anyone, barring having signed an NDA or a contract if you're on a TV show or a movie or something like that, we all have the opportunity to have our voices and opinions heard. Speaking of gaining traction, it would be great if you guys could just press that subscribe button and give me a like and a comment. This novel and the film adaptation both also display a negative aspect of the internet, which is how advanced AI has become. And this is shown through the network creating what we might call deepfake or fake videos of Ben saying things that he never said, which is very scary, I'm sure, for all of us, that someone can just create a fake video or post using AI, making it look like you said or did something that you really didn't do. And of course, this can upend someone's livelihood and tarnish people's reputation like the network did to Ben in the novel and the movie. Next, I would like to talk about the ending and what was changed from the book to the film adaptation, because I know I had a hot take on the Long Walk film adaptation. So as I stated, the ending of the novel was changed in the film adaptation. Did I think that the change was positive? Yes. Do I think that it was needed? Maybe. So let's get into that. In the book, Ben crashes the aircraft into the network games building with the intention of killing Killian and all of the people that ruined his life, since he's under the assumption that his wife and daughter were killed. The ending of the novel is a bit ambiguous, but one can infer that since Ben crashed the aircraft into the games building, he died along with everyone in it. In the movie, the network shoots a missile at the aircraft and frames Ben to make it look like he was on a mission to crash the plane into the games building and kill the innocent live audience. I read an article that pointed out a potential reason for the change from the novel to the film adaptation, which is that the book's ending, of course, is very reminiscent of 9/11. Having this ending stay the same in the film adaptation could be triggering and insensitive, which I have to agree with. I do appreciate the ending of the film adaptation because I believe that it maintained a lot of the intentions and themes that Stephen King wrote into the novel. And of course, in both the ending of the novel and the ending of the book, Killian dies at the hand of Ben, which I think is very vindicating. Although overall, I did agree with and appreciate the change in ending from the novel to the film, one aspect of the ending that I thought didn't really make sense, that was a bit of a plot hole, was that an anonymous figure buys Sheila and Kathy groceries. It's inferred that that anonymous figure with a face mask on is Ben, and Sheila and Kathy briefly get to reunite with Ben, which I find to be unrealistic because if Sheila and Kathy did survive, there's no way that they could actually ever show their face in public again, or at the very least live a normal life. And Ben sure as heck could not risk being seen in public even under disguise. So to end off this video, I wanted to share my overall thoughts of the film adaptation. So unlike The Long Walk, I feel like in this film adaptation, Stephen King's intentions and his themes that he wanted to convey to the audience were upheld. So I really liked this film adaptation and what the producers did with it. I also feel like the changes that were added made it a more accurate portrayal of 2025, and I really appreciated the themes of a controlling government and fake news and how the news outlets have a premium on the narrative of our culture. I love how action-packed this film was. I was completely captivated for the full 2 hours and 14 minutes that this movie was on. I also really liked the comical and kind of cringy elements that were added. For example, near the end of the movie, on one of the scenes on the plane, the lead hunter, McCone, says, "You might have escaped fate, but you can't escape destiny." And I thought that that was so cringy and funny, but again, it kind of fits because it was being televised in the movie. The Elton character was also so cringy and funny, and that just added to the experience for me. I also have to say that the casting was so well done. Another overarching theme in the novel and in the film is doing anything to protect your family, and I think that this was so accurately portrayed in the novel and in the film. It calls to mind and encapsulates the moral dilemma of, would you steal bread to feed your family? This theme acts to humanize people that break the law or do bad things, because you never know what the true motive is behind what people do. And it also makes the audience question in our own minds, what lengths would you go to provide for or protect your family? And finally, I loved the character of Amelia in both the novel and the film, and how she came to realize her privilege and how she was definitely drinking the network's Kool-Aid. Thank you all for tuning in to watch my thoughts and opinions of the novel and film adaptation of The Running Man. As I said earlier in this video, I think that the internet can be such a useful tool for all of us to have discourse with one another, even if we don't agree with one another. I think it's awesome that we can all come on the internet and share our opinions and spark these conversations. And this is just your daily reminder not to drink the network's Kool-Aid, if you will. Please leave a comment telling me what you thought of the novel, and if you've watched the film adaptation, how do you think that the film adaptation stacks up against the novel? And as always, thank you for helping me to gain traction by leaving me a comment and liking this video and subscribing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!